Your cruise is right around the corner and it is time to start packing. And what are you going to bring? Well, we have all the tips and tricks and things that you must bring to make your room and vacation one epic adventure. Stay tuned, all coming up next.
Check it out. What's it all about?
What's up, CIWTG family? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to part 4. You guys have made it. Part 4 of a 4-part series of our pre-boarding cruise tips, tricks, before you get on the ship, all the things that you needed to do up to this point, and you have finally made it. It is packing time, packing day.
Which means it's almost go time.
That's right. So for us, it is right around the corner, actually 3 weeks away for us, so we're getting super excited. And so why not give you guys some of the things that we love to do packing-wise and bring, especially bring. And you know, this list that we're about to share with you has been growing over a period of time, mostly because we've forgotten a lot of these things over many different cruises and told ourselves never to forget, only to probably forget some of the things on recent cruises. We have made an entire checklist for you guys, and I'll pop it up here on screen. And if you want your own version of it, an own copy of it, you can go over to our website at checkinwiththegskis.com and download it for yourself, all for free, and have it to go over before you board your ship. It is going to be one important document for you to go ahead and look over and make sure you have all that. And we want this to be really interactive, so leave us some comments down below, because I'm sure we've missed some things, or maybe there's things then on that list that isn't there that you love to pack and want to share with everyone else. So make sure you drop a comment on what that might be below. We'd love to hear it. One of the most important things you obviously can bring is, of course, your passport and or birth certificate. And the most important thing, especially if you're bringing a passport, is to make sure it isn't expired or going to expire.
It's within 6 months of whenever you're boarding, I'm pretty sure. So if your passport is expiring within 6 months of your first sea day, I'm assuming.
Last day.
Last day. Then you better go get it renewed, because otherwise they won't let you on the ship.
That's correct. So the last day of your cruise, let's just hypothetically say it's the 21st of some day. If your passport expires in 6 months of that day, you will not be allowed on the ship, believe it or not. So make sure you are checking those passports and you have plenty of time to get them renewed. Actually, passports...
It's usually pretty fast right now.
That's exactly what I was going to say, yeah.
I feel like not that long ago.
Yeah, and they got back to us in like...
a few weeks.
Like 2 weeks or something,
Yeah.
and usually it takes like 10 weeks, so it was pretty incredible, really fast. So yeah, obviously that's the biggest one. You gotta have either a birth certificate or a passport to get on this ship. So lucky for us, we've never done that. I always make sure to triple check before we walk out of the house, make sure that we have those things. The other thing, a part of what I call documents category, obviously these days everything is kind of documented here on your phone, especially with Royal Caribbean. All your boarding passes and everything like that is on the app, so make sure you have that. Talked about that a little bit on our last video, so definitely download their app. Have all the cruise documents with you right here on your phone, and it's really easy. They scan it and you can just get on the ship just like that, especially when you filled out everything on the app ahead of time, meaning the check-in stuff. So the other thing you'll see there on the list is called luggage tags. You can print those out almost about 3 to 4 weeks. They'll send it to you before, well, they won't send it to you. They'll let you download it off of the internet from royalcaribbean.com and log into your own account, and you can download your own luggage tag. Now, the thing that we love to do with those luggage tags, obviously most people probably fold them up and staple them to their suitcase.
We used to do it.
We used to do that, and we learned our lesson because one day we were driving down to Galveston, which is our home port most of the time, and took a truck, and all of our luggage was in the back of the truck, and lo and behold, it started raining and pretty much soaked your paper luggage tags. Lucky for us, it didn't actually completely destroy them to where it was unusable, but it was just one concern that came up for us and kind of made us start thinking we probably should think of a different way of transporting these luggage tags in the future.
I think lots of people who cruise a lot use them.
Oh yeah, it's becoming a big thing, and what we're talking about are these little plastic holders for your luggage tag. And what we recommend is finding the ones with the metal wire that holds onto it, because it also has a metal ring that goes around it. And it just seems a lot more durable than anything else out there and won't really rip and tear. And these have been with us for quite some time, actually since our first Lure of the Seas adventure, which was like, what, 5 years ago or something? So they have held up over time, and they're actually really cheap. You can actually find them on Amazon.com, and all you have to do is just do a quick little search in there, cruise luggage tag holder, and there's probably like 6,000 of them that you can choose from. And they come in like packs of 6, 8, whatever it may be, and they're only like $8. So certainly worth buying and looking into to bring with you on your trip, because it just saves a little bit of concern.
If you're like a travel agent, I feel like that would be like a nice little gift here.
Oh, that would be awesome, yeah. Okay, so the other thing we recommend under the big category under carry-on bags, we definitely recommend you bring a carry-on bag. Obviously, you can check all your luggage if you want, and it will eventually show up to your room, hopefully before your first dinner time. That's happened to us before where we didn't get it for dinner time. And
they've been really good about getting it there early, like I feel like our past 2 or 3 cruises.
It's been a while
but it has happened that we've come to our early dinner time and either our luggage like is just arriving or we're missing one or something like that.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the reason why we recommend bringing a carry-on bag, just in case. I think if you're a huge water sport fan or adventure fan and want to really get into the cruise really early and go do a flow rider or maybe do some zip lining or whatever it may be that may require different attire than what you were wearing onto the ship, that's where the carry-on bag comes in big time for you, because especially with the water slides, you guys, no one's ever in line when you board the ship, and you can probably do those over and over and over and over again and have an amazing time as soon as you board and get
You're going to be
water
waiting
sports.
to get to your room anyways, so honestly you might as well go on the slides and have fun while everyone else is just eating and walking around the ship.
Right. Yeah. So we always recommend bringing a bathing suit, wearing it on possibly, and then having to change of clothes within that carry-on bag as well. Now the other big thing is if you have any kind of medications that you have to take throughout the day, make sure you're packing those into those carry-on bags so you don't have to worry about not getting it until like 5 o'clock in the evening. So think about those kinds of things. What are the kinds of things that you're gonna need while you get onto the ship and won't be able to survive without until roughly, let's just say, 5 o'clock in the evening that day. So pack that carry-on bag, make sure you pack those essentials away. So the other nice big ticket item here is under cash and cards, and why we have that separated out is mostly because you're likely going to be doing some tipping on your cruise, and one of the first people that you'll probably tip, depending on what port you're at, is of course the porters at the port. Those are the people that could take your luggage and walk them over to where it needs to go to board onto the ship for you. And of course, usually we recommend probably tipping somewhere around, I don't know, anywhere between $5 a bag or so. A lot of the times we don't actually use porters because in Galveston, it's actually quite easy to...
it's literally, you walk right by where they take it.
You literally actually get dropped off right by where the bags need to go, so it makes it quite easy for you. And that's kind of an unfortunate thing for the porters, but sometimes the line may get really backed up and maybe you get dropped off at one of the farthest drop-off points within the entire line that's there at the cruise terminal, and then you got to walk all those luggages quite a distance, and so maybe that's where a porter will come into play. But usually when we're boarding at Galveston, we always have the early boarding like we talked about in our last video, and there's hardly anyone there in line when we get there, so...
Because everyone's still leaving.
Yeah, so we drop off exactly where the luggage needs to go, and makes it really easy and simple. But do use those porters when you need to, and don't forget to tip them. Like I said, $5 a bag is pretty standard, I would say, in the cruising world these days. Other people that you're possibly going to be tipping, of course, are people on excursions, and maybe your stateroom attendant, and maybe even your dining room drivers, yeah,
waitresses, anyone like that, really.
So what we like to do before our trip is kind of like plan out, make sure we understand all the people that we're going to come across or likely come across, and we like to set out you know, 5s and 10s for each day or whatever it may be where we may
definitely
need
have
it.
some small denominations
So
available.
Big item there just to kind of keep in mind. Don't forget about their tip money, because it is important, helps them out a lot, and they look forward to it. And you know, I think that's where they make their most money, to be honest, not really from being paid through the ship. Now the other item in there that may seem obvious is of course a credit card, and the reason why I put that on there mostly because we've been to an excursion specifically at St. John where they don't take cash to get you into the beach, and you have to basically use a credit card to pay to get onto the beach. So that's why it's kind of important to make sure you pack a credit card, not only for the cruise itself, because sometimes they like you to have that on file. Now there is obviously an option where you can just bring money and instead of having a credit card on file, but I'm seeing more and more that excursions are only accepting credit cards, and cash is slowly starting to disappear from the world of cruising. So make sure you have a credit card with you just in case. Even if you don't use it, it's always best to have it with you in emergency situations.
You never know.
Yeah.
You get left on the island on accident,
Yeah.
you're gonna want your credit card.
Yes, because that could get dangerous. Almost happened to us. Okay, under the category of tech, obviously if you're a YouTuber like we are, and we always bring all of our tech equipment. Yeah, me, it's always kind of funny on that first day. I got a backpack in the front of me and a backpack in the behind me. I do try to get Jennifer to carry it occasionally because it gets really, really heavy carrying all the camera equipment.
That looks
like
super
this.
cute with that backpack.
Yeah, it's always a struggle with convincing mom to carry it for me. But yeah, it's a lot of equipment that we like to bring. We like to bring this camera, obviously, which is our big Canon camera. We bring all of our GoPro action adventure cameras. We bring a drone that mom hates me bringing because I always get in trouble with it somehow or some way. But yeah, we pack a whole lot of tech, and of course we bring computers and SD cards and all kinds of fun things. So that may not even matter to any of y'all, because most people that go on cruises probably don't bring any of those kinds of things and keep it to just to their phone to take photos and video, which is nice, but not for us. Now, the big thing in that list, in my opinion, is actually two big things. The first one is the European converter plug. Now, if you saw our Star of the Seas video this past December, just a few months ago, you'll remember we forgot that. And the reason why we like to bring it is mostly because mom likes to use that and plug in her, your curling iron? Hair dryer?
My hair dryer, my curling iron.
All the above. Anyways, we've been on a couple of ships where it doesn't, some of those different brands of products like that don't actually work on the plugs that are inside your cabin. But we have found that the European outlet puts out more volts or whatever it may be to actually work with almost every single brand out there, at least the ones that mom owns. And so, yeah, we were a little concerned about that on our Star of the Seas because I completely forgot to pack it.
Yeah, I mean, we've never had an issue, but it's always been nice to have because I always see people on the boards and they're talking about how their curling iron or hair dryer didn't work, you know, and it's really, I don't even know. It might be specific brands. There's not really a way to tell.
It's hard to say. I do know that this does work, and this is the European plug that I'm talking about. The one that we have is nice because it converts to a 3-prong. Can it focus? It's not gonna focus on it, but it's got a 3-prong and it's got a couple of USB plugs into it, which is kind of nice. I'm sure they make some with USB-Cs in there now. But yeah, this guy puts out enough power, definitely to power all the things mom does for her hair products. Of course, I don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff.
Emotional damage!
Now, I will say be careful because I think when we were on our first Icon cruise, mom had this plugged in and I plugged in my drone to this and it overpowered the controller and fried it. And that's what caused my drone not to work on that cruise. It's a little disappointing.
A little.
So be careful of what you plug into that, especially American products like that. It may overpower and fry them. So just be aware of that, but we do recommend at least taking this, especially for those hair essentials. So the thing about those multi-plug adapters is they can no longer have a cord to them. So they used to not be too strict about this, but recently...
I mean, they were strict about it, but you had to have it, like you had to carry it on, right?
Well, no, even...
Was it the opposite?
No, if you did pack it in your suitcase that got checked, your bag never made it to your room and they were gonna take it from you.
You
now,
had to go to...
If you went through carry-on, they didn't really care, but either way, you actually weren't allowed to take it.
I know.
Either way,
yeah.
But that was the trick to get it on, and we're not promoting you doing that.
No.
But yeah, So these guys are no longer allowed, these ones with cords, but they do obviously make multi-plug outlets that are basically without a cord and just has a little 3-prong plug-in. And we like to bring those too, just because, I mean, things like this, it's got multiple USB, USB-Cs, and 3-prong outlets everywhere. And for us, obviously we have a lot of equipment that we gotta charge every single day to bring you amazing videos. So if you're worried about not having enough plugs, definitely buy one of those. It's gonna come in handy. The next item that you want to look into, obviously, is your clothes. We're not gonna go through every single item of clothes you need to bring, like underwear and socks, but obviously you need to bring those. But just the bigger items. Those bigger items are, of course, there's going to be theme nights on your cruise, and usually you'll find out what those theme nights are roughly 7 to 14 days before you get onto your cruise ship. So those theme nights are, of course, all white, white out night, and they have a tropical Caribbean kind of theme night. And there goes Mom with those yawns. So the theme nights for the cruise usually are all white night, Caribbean night, 70s theme night, which we've never really done that before. And of course, you'll have a formal night, especially on cruises that are 7 days, 6 to 7 days and longer. Actually, you'll have 2 formal nights on 7 to 8 day itineraries. I think it's 2 nights, especially for sure on 8-day cruises. You have 2 formal nights. We hardly ever participate these days in formal night just because it's just a hassle to pack such nice attire and trying to make sure they don't get all super wrinkly on you.
That's the last thing I feel like dealing with on a cruise with kids.
Yeah.
I don't want to be having to get dressed up all fancy, get them dressed up. They don't even like it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that on vacation. Sorry.
So we kind of stopped doing it, but we love seeing everyone else get dressed up. We just look a little bit out of place on those nights, and we're okay with that. Sometimes we don't even go to the dining room there on those nights, and we'll just hang out at the Windjammer. That's usually pretty empty, which is kind of a little secret there too. Okay, the other thing that you may not even really could think about or consider when you're going on a cruise, because when we go on a cruise, we're thinking about going to the beach, hanging out in water, and the least thing on your mind may be athletic shoes, because a lot of people don't really think about taking athletic shoes. It's mostly sandal attire, it seems like these days. But the reason why you want to bring those athletic shoes in case you're on an Oasis class ship, for example, or really any Royal Caribbean ship these days, is do you want to do any kind of zip lining on the ship, you're going to have those closed-toe shoes. Any kind of
zip lining,
any basketball, any of the sports, pickleball, laser tag. Obviously, when you do rock climbing, they give you shoes, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you actually need some closed-toe shoes, more athletic type shoes to bring onto the ship to be able to do. So don't forget about those little items there. Just because you're going on a beach getaway vacation doesn't mean you should forget those items, especially if you love playing sports and being active. Yeah. Okay, one more item in the list that we think is really, really important, especially if you're on an Oasis class ship or any ship that has an ice skating ring. They will allow free skate times that you need to sign up for through the Royal app, or at least select a time, make a reservation with that. But when you do go ice skating, they always recommend that you have long pants. Actually, I think it's a requirement that you have long pants to be able to do ice skating. And of course, you probably want to bring a little light jacket as well, because you're skating on ice, so it gets a little chilly down there on the ice rink. So if you have any plans or any thought to potentially go ice skating, make sure you're packing some long pants that you don't mind falling on, because if you're not an expert ice skater, you're definitely probably going to fall a few times, and a light jacket. Those are all really important to be able to do ice skating, which we actually had a lot of fun on when we were on Star of the Seas, so we'll probably be trying to do that again on our next cruise on Symphony of the Seas. One of the next items on our list is, of course, personal care. And this is one big for us because it seems like every time we go, I'm always in need of something. Actually, what was it? Was it on our second Icon trip where I had the massive headache, or was that on Star? I don't remember. No, I think it was on Icon.
No, it wasn't this last one. You didn't even, because we took what we needed this last one and didn't even need it.
Yeah, that's how it happens usually. So yeah, usually, so on our Icon video, our second time being on Icon, I had a massive headache. and it was really bad.
Probably like a couple days, like you had it.
Yeah, I think it was mostly because I was being dehydrated. I don't think I was drinking enough water. And so we completely forgot any kind of Advil or Tylenol. We completely forgot any kind of medication that's going to alleviate that, like Tylenol or Advil. So this is definitely one of the big things that we like to pack nowadays, even if we don't use it, because you never know.
Obviously they have it on the cruise ship, but the store is only open certain hours. So
Yeah.
by the time Michael was like, I really need something, of course
It
the
wasn't
store
open.
was closed.
Yeah.
And I went to guest services, and I'm pretty sure they were able to give me like one
Yeah.
or something that would at least get us by until the store opened.
Yeah. And finally, the last agenda item or topic or things you need to bring, big headline item, is of course cabin type items. And what do I mean by that? The biggest item we like to pack and take is of course a shoe organizer. Is that what it's called? Shoe organizer?
A hanging shoe organizer.
That's right. So you can, again, go on Amazon or whatever and just type those words in. You'll see what we're talking about. But Mom loves to bring that and actually loves to pack our kids' clothes inside that and kind of pre-plan the days out and put it all in each little organizer. And what's great about that is you simply just roll that sucker up and put it in your suitcase, and then when you're out of your suitcase, you just unroll it and you're unpacked.
And hang it up.
And hang it up. And you'll see, like on our Star of the Seas video, obviously we use magnetic hooks.
Magnetic hook.
To hang it from the ceiling, and we find really great places to put that so it's not right in the middle of the space. And on Star of the Seas, I think we found the greatest place to put it. It was right around a column, so it just kind of seemed like it needed to be there, and it fit perfectly right there. It's not just with kids, you guys. You can definitely bring it to store snacks and other items just to get it off of your, maybe your desktop that's there, just to keep your
Snacks, medicine,
keep your room clean, really.
sunscreen, any of that. I mean, you could use it for some sandals.
Oh yeah. So even if you don't have kids, I recommend bringing it just because it just kind of helps your room stay nice, neat, and in order.
Yeah.
Doesn't
And
have
with
things
a room
everywhere.
so small, like we like to try to feel as decluttered as possible.
Yeah,
We're
especially
staying in a
with
room
kids.
with
Or
four people, and for a whole week, things can very easily feel like very claustrophobic on you.
Really quickly. Well, you guys, that is kind of the big items from our list. Obviously, we skipped over a lot of little other things that may be big and important to you, but that's why we made that checklist. We hope it brings some value to you and helps you not forget some of those items that we usually do forget. That's mostly the reason why I created that checklist, was for us to make sure that we actually are packing some of those big items that we love. But like I said at the beginning of the video, please let us know some of the things that you like to take, because I'm sure we've got a lot of things that maybe we haven't even thought about. So definitely leave a comment down below. Let us know some of the things that you have to have when you go on your cruise. We'd love to hear it. So with that, guys, you made it through part 4. It means your cruise is right around the corner. We hope you have an amazing time on your cruise, because we're definitely gonna have an amazing time on our cruise. We'll see you guys out there on the high seas. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, thanks for leaving a comment. We'll see you guys in the next big adventure. Bye. You're about to
Gskis in flight. Checking with the crew, bringing you to
You're
the
about
light.
to board your Royal Caribbean cruise for
Every
time, and they're actually
time
really cheap.
You'll be begging for more. Check in. It's the Gskis vibe. What are the ones on your screen? Keeping dreams alive. From the highs to the lows, yeah, we're telling it all. This is your front row seat, so just answer the call.